I'm Rick Lee.
I'm Michael Robert Sudar.
I'm Jedson Lewis Simon.
And I'm Terrence John Groom.
And we are
Armoros! It's not Amorous, it's on Armoros, it's Armoros!
born and raised here, 69, Jubilee Hospital.
I'm actually from
Down.
I was born in Williams Lake. Then I lived in Kamloops for a number of years till I was about 12, and then we moved to Victoria from there.
I was born in Victoria, Jubilee Hospital, 64. It was a great year of the Dragon. And I've always lived to get out of here, so I live in Vancouver now.
And I was born at Jubilee Hospital in 65, year that I don't know.
We went from 1985 to 1994-ish, 5-ish? No, 4-ish, 3-ish.
Yeah, in heaps and spurts.
Thrash metal.
Thrash metal band.
Yeah, if you had to categorize it, I would say definitely thrash hard metal. I think speed metal, that I use that term loosely, but of the 80s, the speed metal of the 80s has blossomed into a lovely new thing, which is probably labeled as death metal now.
Heavy metal's dominated all music genres now.
Yeah, it's
everything.
Metal's coming on strong, and I think that's about the best
When you
term
find
you can
it,
use
like,
for the overall.
When we were going strong and stuff, there was no way you'd hear Metallica on the radio. There was just no way. And now things are, the audience has gotten a taste for heavier music, and the music's gotten a little more accessible, so...
And nothing else matters.
Yeah. So, I think it's really sort of evolved into more of a mainstream thing than it was, back in the mid 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good, I think.
Yeah, we've come a long way from the Phyllis Diller hairdos.
We were one of the first bands of our kind in this area, and now there's lots of them, so, maybe there was a little bit of influence on Victoria. I mean, there weren't too many bands like us at the time we were around.
Started with an opus called Debut Assault, and we don't really count it though.
That's actually where I first joined the band.
It was an experiment.
Up until that point, we were actually a 5-piece, and we had another bass player named Todd Birch and a singer named Kevin Wright.
During the recording of the Debut Assault, I was friends with these guys, and me and a friend of mine, John Hercock, we were trying to get a band together and stuff. I was playing guitar at the time, and Todd wasn't cutting it in the studio, so they said, well, if you want to do it, Rick, learn the songs, come back in a week. So I did, and
he was in the band ever since.
And
and that was produced by Lauren Wright. It was at Camosa College, and it was part of one of his school projects.
they had this 1940s recording equiment. I think it was
8-track or something, wasn't it?
I played through a PV bass amp.
That tape actually sold. It wasn't bad considering what it was. No local bands were doing their own tapes and selling them and stuff.
We were like the Metallica of Victoria.
Yeah, on a real small scale, it's like
kind of deal.
Yeah,
We made
and it caught on. People liked it, so we sold more copies than.
No, actually, a lot of people didn't like it, but now those people that fucking put us down, oops, like metal now. Yeah.
Yeah, because they all bought the last Metallica album.
Yeah. Resurrected, I think, is the best. That was the one. That was the first one we did in this lineup as the new band. That's why we stopped.
Around there.
There was 4 songs. That's partly why it was called Resurrected, is because it was like a new form of the band. Until then, it had been a 5-piece, and this is, just the 4 of us now writing songs together.
We're a new band.
The new band, the new order of Armoros sort of thing. We're resurrected as a new band. Sort of changed direction. We went from a lighter metal to a more Slayer kind of mode, and heavier.
We definitely
mode
found Satan for that. During that time, we all rented a house together way out in West Saanich.
Yeah, the Party Palace.
What's the
Party Palace, but all that negative stuff aside, we practiced so hard and so much.
That's all we did. That's all we did for
we had a
day
back
and
room.
night.
It was devoted to practice, and that's all we did. And when we went in to record Resurrected, we knew exactly what we were doing.
And that was recorded at Rowan
Sound. He did a really good job. I mean,
Ron Zahar, was it?
Ron Zahar, yeah. I think
Thank you, Ron.
It wasn't, super crunchy like you hear these days, but all the sounds were there, and it sounded.
And considering our budget, I mean, we had like a $400 budget.
Yeah.
And for what, we
Nobody
definitely
knew
got our
what
money
metal
worth.
production was back then.
Yeah.
We'll show you some footage.
Check it out, coming up right now.
This is called Terminal Death.
we probably put like a couple hundred out in the stores or whatever, and then we sent a bunch off to magazines and stuff, and that's when the ball started.
Yeah.
The response from Europe was incredible. There was this old magazine, well, I think they're still out, called Metal Forces, but they were a lot cooler back then. And Kerrang, and a writer named Mike Exley at Metal Forces latched onto us like crazy, and
He championed us.
he gave us the greatest reviews, and from then the mail just started pouring in.
One of the things we did with that tape is I took 10 demos, and I just for free, I got addresses out of Metal Forces, and I just sent 10 of them off free. Just here, have a demo. Just right back and let us know what you think of it, right? And we got great response. We got, we got the reviews and Metal Forces and Kerrang. Kerrang's another one that we got reviews in that was
Hard Shock, Metal
good.
Hammer.
And we got mail from like a lot from Italy. We got Japan, just all over the world. It was just an incredible
Except
thing
for
for
America,
us.
really.
Yeah,
not too
Yeah,
much.
America
States,
didn't really do much
for
with it.
some reason.
America was big, but Europe it was
Europe
amazing.
was, yeah.
We got a letter from a guy in Russia. It was just before the wall came down and stuff, and he sent us pictures. Like, they couldn't afford gear, they had no gear there, and he sent us pictures of his homemade drum set that he'd built himself, for the love of music. And those are like Those are moments
That's
that
what
you never
drives you, man.
you never forget that kind of stuff.
That's what made Remember Michelle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then we wrote songs. And our next one, Remember Michelle. We did that one, and that one didn't. I don't think we plugged it as much as the Resurrected one.
No,
so
but it's still got the great.
it got really good reviews, but it didn't get around as much.
We recorded that one at Downtown Sound, and it came out well.
Except that we had
too much hands on.
too much hands on. It was like really
Everything's got to be loud. Everything's got to be.
can't hear the bass.
But the songs themselves were more advanced and better, and we were pretty proud of the songs.
A little faster.
The arrangements were a little more technical. Remember Michelle thing was kind of a theme thing for a book that was out called Michelle Remembers, about a local Victoria story about a girl who was, her mother was into Satanism and stuff like that.
She was kidnapped apparently.
And all this satanic crap was done to her and stuff, and she recalls it all in this book through hypnotism and stuff like that, and it was kind of a theme thing too.
Yeah, it suited us.
It suited us. It was kind of not so much because it was satanic, but we wrote a song about the book and stuff, and it was, we felt it was a strong song. And
what was funny is, we got labeled Satanic Band, but I think that was probably the only song we ever wrote that had anything to do with actual Satanism. Terry wrote some lyrics to a song called Apparition of Force, which was probably our next most evil song, I guess you'd say. Yeah. But
for the most part, we did a lot of different different topics. We weren't really really into the satanic thing. We just whatever we thought was interesting, like
or important to us.
Serial killers.
Serial killer songs, and
Spontaneous human combustion.
Horror movies. Pieces was an album that we did. Unfortunately,
we won some time at a recording studio through a battle of bands in Vancouver. And we came in second. Kieran came in first. We recorded it in Vancouver at Profile Studios. We had an inexperienced engineer.
Yeah, we were inexperienced. And during that time, we had started to get a lot of shows like down in Seattle and in Tacoma and stuff. We had actually a pretty good following there, I'd say.
Yeah.
And there was a record company down there called Everrat, and a friend of ours named Jason Everman, who actually used to play in Soundgarden and Nirvana. And he recommended us to that label, and they showed some interest, and they signed us, but it was the kind of deal where we supply them with product and then they put it out. His name is David Ulysses Portnow. I mean, up front he was cool and seemed all right. We gave him all the master tapes and we had all our own artwork. Everything was done and ready. We had a publishing company called Simply Deluxe, and they're from here.
They helped us out.
They helped us out immensely.
If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have recorded the album.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that it never got released.
We rewrote the contract in its entirety, almost changing every clause, and it was a rock solid. It was a rock solid contract. And I guess what happened was Ulysses Portnow down at Everett couldn't fulfill his obligations to us, and so his way of dealing with it was to not contact us and to
postpone it.
I think he was going on innuendo and things he was hearing. And we never ever heard back from him. He kept postponing it, and there was a certain point where we just never heard from him again.
Our publishers advised us to let him know that the contract's void and send all the material back, and that's what he did. Around that time, we all moved to Vancouver, which was quite the adventure in itself. Let's just say that.
It was really our demise.
It was funny because we all dumped our girlfriends at the same time and took off to Vancouver thinking, this is...
Because we always played over in Vancouver.
Yeah. Well, Vancouver was more of a place for us to be because...
More home for us.
Well, we always got paid only like $100 a gig, and we spent that for our fare, so we figured if we moved to Vancouver, we'd actually have some money.
Yeah, and you're on the mainland, you don't have to take a boat every time you want to play, and stuff like that. It would help us. Vancouver is more of a music city.
When things really started going, we kind of wished we weren't from here, because it was kind of hard for us to get ahead, being on the island, being kind of segregated from the rest of the music scene in North America. It was a real drag for us.
It's tough to play gigs because you always had to take all these extra costs into account and stuff. It was terrible for a band that had no money to begin with.
And that was the biggest problem I think we had, was because we had no financing, we had no money, we couldn't really get out of here. If we had been able to get to Europe at least, I think we could have had a better shot at it.
Unfortunately, in the process of getting all our lives together, it destroyed the band.
Well, we've all had our blowouts through over the years.
Yeah. But that's what's cool. I mean, we fought like dogs, but we all
These guys have the same purpose.
We recognize the fact that we're all still buddies.
And these guys are family to me. I mean, I've never been.
We became brothers at Resurrect.
I was really hopeful when we got back together that it would kind of stay together, because we did, we resurrected a couple of old songs, and we wrote a couple of new songs, and we started doing a demo, and unfortunately we didn't finish it, but I think it would have been the best work we'd ever done. It was sounding really good, and unfortunately it all fell through again. Of course, deep down, I really wish that we still were playing together and stuff, because I had the time of my life in Armoros.
We were a lot better than where we got to. There's no doubt about it. And I mean, that's not being cocky. That's just, to me, that's just the way it is. I think we wrote some great shit.
Yeah.
We played with Dark Angel, and that was probably the best.
That was the highlight of my life. We were all huge Dark Angel fans, and we got to open up for him, and it was just...
It's funny, because Dark Angel, I can draw a lot of similarities between us and Dark Angel, more so than us and Slayer, because I think Dark Angel was a far bigger influence on us. True. And it was a really cool thing to actually play with your heroes. And it's funny because they're not around anymore too, and I don't think they got the respect that they deserve.
No. A Kiss tribute that needed another Gene Simmons, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm traveling all over North America and stuff like that, being Gene Simmons. Something I've always wanted to do, and I'm getting a chance to see the country. I don't have to drywall anymore. I'm a working musician, and I'm loving it. And we're playing here in Victoria, which is going to be great. Get to hang out with all my buddies.
Put on makeup and wear spandex.
Yeah, never thought I'd ever see the day where I was wearing high heels and makeup and spandex.
Going to college, learning all about hotel management. And I'm also still teaching. I've been teaching drums now for almost 6 years, and I'm looking forward to opening up my own studio in a couple of months at the end of September. And I'm pretty much out of the local music scene. There's not really much here that interests me, and kind of got my own family now and stuff. I've got 2 boys, and that takes up a lot of my time. So I don't really have what it takes to invest an awful lot of time into the project unless it's really going to go somewhere and there's a guarantee. Music business, you don't get that.
Well, after Armoros, I know I played a bunch of bands. I played in a band called Caustic Thought, and then I played in a band called Noisescapes, and then I played in a band called Zimmer's Hole. I got a Kiss tribute band going on the side called Strange Ways. And right now I'm involved with a band called Strapping Young Lad. Our first album just came out, and we've been on tour and stuff, and we're going on tour again, and I've actually just recently been hired to go and play guitar for a band called Frontline Assembly. So we're going to be going to Europe in a couple of months. So I mean, as Rick said, I'm a working musician now too, and it's really cool.
Since we moved to Vancouver, I learned the art of drywalling, and I've fathered a child, and couldn't find too many cool people to play with except for some people, but nothing became serious of it. Anyway, I moved back to Victoria, and I'm still drywalling, and I'm still doing the dad thing, and I was playing with Strapping Young Lad. But I'm not anymore, I don't think. And who knows what the future holds.
This one is seriously for all our old friends, all the people who used to come out and fucking rage with us out at the West Saanich house and shit, wrecking our house and stuff. Party until you fucking puke. This one's for them. It's a new song we wrote about the old times and stuff, and the new times, kind of. It's called Ode to the Past.
a good time.
Yeah, that was a good time.
You see again, maybe.
Maybe.
I was like,